Hello fans, and welcome to Joel Ween Stadium in Hillsboro, Kansas for tonight's matchup between Sterling High School and Hillsboro High School on Friday Night Football. What you hear in the background is the national anthem, so we're going to let that finish.
Now you're starting the lineup.
All right, fans, now we have the starting lineups. Let's start with the Black Bears. Starting at quarterback will be Kyler Comley. At running back is Joel White and Shane Winters, along with Blaine Shea. At tight end will be Jordan Profit. Then for the linemen, we have Henry Weiner, Eric Vogt, Brandon Frederick, Zane Nichols, and Edward Weiner with Colin as a wideout. Starting with Hillsboro, at quarterback, Jacob Hanshoe. Wide receivers include Elliot Ullenberger. We have two running backs tonight, first being Justice Hilliard, Hillsboro's leading rusher from last year, along with Tyson Reimer. David Dick and Grant Knoll line up the wide receivers, and the offensive line consists of Jesse Meyer, Cody Craney, Levi Mendoza, Josh Funk, and Graham Pankratz. Now, Will, we have the first night of high school football for this season. What are you looking forward to in this game?
I'm looking forward to what both teams have in store. Obviously, it's their first game. I really am looking forward to this offense of Sterling. It looks like it'll be different from last year.
Following up with that Sterling offense, last year we recorded a record of 3-7. We ended up being 3-1 in district play. We ended up making the playoffs and losing a very heartfelt game to Smith Center. We had a new assistant coach, Tyson Bowerly, last year, and we were a very run-heavy pistol offense last year. We might expect to see some changes today, don't you think?
I would agree with that.
We've heard from the coaches and several players that they're going to be more pass-oriented this year, so we hope for starting quarterback Kyler Comley to carry this team on his shoulders. We had considerable losses this year, including quarterback and leading rusher Austin Myers, running back Tommy Shea, receivers Lane Tomer, Trey Jones, and Trey Bagby, and linemen including Jed Dirksen, Tanner Stallings, Hunter Hewitt, and Luke Schweitzer.
This year, we've moved up to Class 3A, expected, not sure yet. The classifications don't come out for another couple weeks. We are returning only 4 seniors, Henry Weiner, Colin Anderson, Jordan Profit, and Cody Salazar. But from last year, we have lost all of our defensive line and all of our offensive line, with the exception of Henry Weiner. We've joined the CKL South Division, which seems to be the tougher division in the Central Kansas League this year, with power teams like Heston and Smoky Valley. And this year our district includes the likes of Lyons, Hoisington, and Ellsworth, which should be pretty manageable district.
Now we have some expectations for you. We expect Kyler Comley to start at quarterback, which that is confirmed. We've talked to the coaches. We also expect more passing plays in store, as we talked about earlier. Considerably less size. Last year we averaged about 6'3", 240 across the board on the offensive line, and those numbers are not going to be anywhere near that this year. Our players to watch, Will, why don't you read those?
Our players to watch are senior Cody Salazar. He'll be in the defensive. He'll be a defensive back. Look out for him. Jordan Profit is an all-state player to watch out for. Big 6'6" guy there. Shane Winters, explosive running back. Colin Anderson should be a favorite target for Kyler Comley early in this game and for the whole season. And freshman receiver Kenan Comley should also get some action tonight and should be look forward to watch out for him.
There's something to be said about the Black Bears schedule this year. Moving into that South Division, it looks like we're going to have a really tough league schedule. In 2 weeks we go play Heston, and they went very far in the playoff picture last year. But it seems that we have quite a manageable district schedule with teams that are ranked similarly as we are. And we're going to look forward to tonight's game, as anybody would, and we hope it's a good one.
It should be, Cole.
The Black Bears are now coming out onto the field, going into their pregame warm-ups. Let's talk about Hillsboro a little bit, Will.
All right.
Hillsboro last season started off with a 2-1 record with wins over Sterling and Nickerson. The Trojans could not ride the momentum into the next 2 games in a tough stretch. Hillsboro dropped both against 2 league champions, Heston and Smoky Valley, the 2 power teams we were talking about in the South Division.
Right.
After rebounding in a big way against Remington, the Trojans went winless in the district. They've returned 6 offensive starters and 6 defensive starters. We have the captains meeting at midfield right now. Both representatives shaking hands awaiting the coin toss.
The captains for Hillsboro look to be number 5, Justice Hilliard, a senior running back. Number 54, Jesse Meyer, also a senior offensive lineman. Number 62, Cody Craney. And the final captain for Hillsboro out there is Graham Pankratz. All senior captains, definitely something that Hillsboro would seem to do with their leadership right here as captains.
Sterling captains look like Jordan Prophet, and I can't quite see the other 3 right now, but I'll give you that update in just a moment. Scott, who are the captains down there? What do you see?
What I can see down here, it looks like Jordan Prophet, number 85, Cody Salazar. As we go farther down, I can't make out the numbers from down here, but possibly number 44, if there is a 44.
44 would be Eli Miller. He's a freshman. That'd be impressive if he was the captain.
I can't make it down, but you can always assume Kyler Comley.
Kyler Comley and then Henry Weiner are the other
Henry.
2. Okay, we have the results from the coin toss.
Sterling has won the toss.
Sterling has won the toss, elected to defer.
Hillsboro will receive.
Hillsboro will receive the kickoff. Sterling will defend the south goal. Players shake hands at midfield as Hillsboro's fight song plays in the pep band. Very much anticipation and a little bit of nerves maybe for the opening game tonight.
Definitely.
You always want to start off on the right foot. It's very important to get a fast start, especially in high school football, when every win really matters.
That's nice to see some team bonding right before the game there, getting a little adrenaline hyped up, pumped up. This is a very important game for both teams, like you said a few seconds earlier, and I'm looking forward to it, Cole.
Now, Hillsboro will be receiving the ball, and as we already talked about, Sterling has lost a considerable amount of size, but maybe gained a little bit of speed, so we'll see how the speed works out on the kickoff as the players run down to try to make a tackle.
There'll be a lot of young kids out there for Sterling today. Look for the sophomore class and junior class to really be represented well here tonight, as the junior class especially gets a lot of attention with a lot of key players coming from that class with the short amount of seniors we have this year.
Again, Sterling only returning 4 seniors. Number 2, Jacob Hanshoe back to receive the deep kick for Hillsboro. And kicking off for Sterling,
Zane Nichols.
Looks to be Zane Nichols, number 64. Both teams are getting very hyped up as they're waiting to go and return the kickoff, obviously. Zane backs up to kick the ball.
Kicking off for the Black Bears, number 64, Zane Nichols.
Zane kicks it. It's quite a short kick. It's going to be picked up by Hashku.
Jacob Hanshoe with the return.
He gets wrapped up at about the 33-yard line.
Looks like Blaine Shea was the tackler on that. No.
Henry Weiner.
Henry Weiner, yes. Looked like Joel White made a late entrance on that tackle. I think that's what I saw.
Scott, how does the field look like with all the hype down there?
Field is pretty electric, because like you guys said earlier the season, going back to that kickoff, it was such a short kick, but considering the factor that the Black Bears were kicking into the wind, you shouldn't see anything different.
Justice Hilliard with the run. Looks like he'll be pushed out of bounds in enemy territory at about the 33-yard line. Tackle finally made by Henry Weiner.
First down, Trojans on the Black Bear 33-yard line.
So that was a very explosive play by the 5'8" bowling ball-like senior with the run. He was their leading rusher last year. He's also manning the quarterback position. He hands it off now. The running back gets stuffed on the play, maybe a gain of 1.
Looks like Hillsboro might be trying to go, not no huddle, but definitely a faster pace on this offense right here.
Looks like the ball was handed off to Tyson Reimer on the play. Yeah, the fast-paced offense seems to be working out for him as the first play from scrimmage, went for approximately 30 yards.
Looks like it's trips to the right. Hand off to number 33.
Wrapped up for about a gain of 2. That was Dustin Plenert on the carry. Takes it around the edge, trying a little sweep play. Gets stopped by the defensive end on that side. Looks like Shane Winters.
Third down 9.
So after giving up a very long first opening play, the Black Bears have held the Hillsboro Trojans here to a 3rd and 9.
This is a key 3rd down here earlier in this game.
Hilliard back to receive the snap. He does. Looks like he's going to keep it. No defensive end to the other side. A nice tackle is made by Colin Anderson. Saves the 3rd down and will kill the drive there.
Number 80, Colin Anderson.
It'll be a 4th and 4 or 5 here for the Hillsboro Trojans. And it'll be interesting to see if they're going to be kicking it or not. It looks like they were kicking it during pregame, so it appears not, though, as they huddle up.
One of the starters that wasn't mentioned before the game, but I just saw take the field, was number 12, Kenan Comley, has entered the game at defensive back. Big play here.
Hillsboro on 4th down with Hilliard back to receive the snap. He does. Looks to pass, trips right. He throws it. The ball is caught by Jacob Hanshu, and that looks to be signaled for a touchdown. So Hillsboro hits the board first on a 4th and 5 pass conversion with 9:32 left to go in the first quarter. So that'll put them up 6-0.
Scott, did you see any particular breakdowns in coverage on that passing play by the Black Bears?
On that last play, it just mainly just like a missed blocking assignment by Blaine Shea as the wide receiver. Slipped in between Colin Anderson and Blaine.
Okay, Scott, thanks for your information. 2-point conversion coming up for the Trojans.
No,
Nope, it looks like they're going to kick a extra point. Little stutter step by the kicker there.
The kick is good by number 20, Jeff Jorgensen.
Jeffrey Jorgensen hits the extra point. Registered as a kicker on the roster and nothing else. So when you've got somebody that can do it, you might as well use them, right, Will?
That's right, and that last name Jorgensen, or I'm not sure what it was, it did seem a little, maybe he's a foreign exchange student for Hillsboro, possibly?
Jorgensen, yes.
Jorgensen, yes.
Doesn't seem like quite the familiar name around central Kansas.
Very true. So, Cole, what do you look for on this first offensive series for the Black Bears in this 2014 campaign?
Well, Will, I'm anxious to see the play selection by Coach Matt Hendricks here. It will be interesting to see how they utilize their pass game, as they said that they will. So there's really only speculation up to this point. Nobody really knows for sure what's actually going to happen, but that's why you watch the game.
This is true.
Jorgensen tees the ball up. Back deep to receive, looks like Blaine Shea and Joel White.
Coaches told both men to back up a little bit. A lot of respect for Jorgensen's kicking leg here.
The ball falls off the tee. Yeah, the deep returners are back at the 10-yard line, so that's quite unusual actually for high school. That seems a bit deep. A little bit of respect for the kicker there.
Definitely.
Was kicking fairly long field goals into the wind in pregame. Jorgensen kicks the ball. It's going to be muffed by Joel White, and it'll be a touchback as it rolls steadily into the end zone. So starting the ball on the 20, the Black Bears come onto the field.
Black Bears will take over on their own 20, first down.
What's it look like down there, Scott?
Well, just on that kickoff, like Joel White got a little bit anxious and hit the ball with the wind that's blowing down and just went off the hands into the end zone.
Here we go with the split pistol set. Kyler Conley in at quarterback. Looks like Shane Winters behind him. Gives the ball to Blaine Shea. Shea runs it up the middle.
31 Blaine Shea.
Breaks fairly free for a gain of about 11 yards. Takes it to the 31-yard line. How do you think about that run from Blaine Shea?
That was a really good run to start off the season for the Black Bears. Looks like a lot of nice blocking by the receivers, Jordan Profit and Joel White on that play. If he could have had maybe slightly more of the gap, he maybe could have got to the open field. But for the first play of the season, I thought it was pretty good.
Kyler Comley running the quarterback in the spread pistol formation. Winters, the running back. Blaine Shea in motion again. Low snap, bobbled. Fumble on the play.
Scott.
Referee looks to see who has the ball. Scott, what's it look like?
Well, as you just got the confirmation from the official, it's Hillsboro's ball. It just looked to be a low snap that get his hands up.
Okay. Brandon Frederick and Henry Weiner switching on the center position tonight. Not a very solid position for Sterling thus far this year.
And center is an underrated position to play. It's very important. So we'll see if ball security is more of an issue later in this game.
On this second drive, Eric Vogt comes in as a substitution on the left end. Ball is given to Jacob Hanshu.
The ball carrier.
Takes it up the middle for about 9. That brings up second down on the Sterling Black Bears 19-yard line. So a very good start on the second drive after a turnover.
Definitely.
9-yard pickup on the play.
I would say if nothing else, they're at least in field goal range with the leg we saw on Jorgensen.
Jorgensen does seem to be quite the kicker here.
So running back Justice Hilliard manning the quarterback spot. He gives it off. Looks like to Tyson Reimer. Looks like he picks up enough for a first down plus 2, so that'll be a gain of 3. Takes him down to the 15-yard line. Pretty stout play by the Sterling Black Bears defense. Looked like a collective gang tackle, which is always good. That's what you want to see in high school football. Hilliard takes the full house pistol, quarterback position. Takes the snap, gives the ball, no, keeps the ball himself, and he will be stopped just short of the goal line. Looked like he was undercut there by Colin Anderson. The stature of Justice Hilliard, a 5'8" senior, weighs 190 pounds, alludes to maybe a young Michael Turner type running back. Very stout running back who has a lot of power and speed. He'll sneak it in, and that'll be another Hillsboro touchdown.
So what a way to finish off the second drive with ball security issues of the Black Bears, and Hillsboro definitely takes advantage.
So an erroneous low snap caused by who knows what leads to a Hillsboro touchdown off of a turnover.
And I'd say the Hillsboro faithful are pretty excited here at the beginning of this game.
Quite a large crowd here for the first game. Jorgensen back to kick the extra point. He does. And the kick is good. So a score of Hillsboro 14, Sterling 0 with 7:57 left in the first quarter. After one good play from Sterling, it looked like we just had a little bit of miscommunication. as I would say, the drive looked promising after the first 11-yard rush.
It did. It really did. We'll see if they can get something flowing on this second drive, because those couple plays they had there did look very promising. Even on the missed snap, I think that was going to be a potential passing play. So look for the pass game more this series, and look for the center ball security issues with the quarterback to be fixed up a little bit.
Well said, Will. So now, White and Shea back to receive the kickoff for Sterling. Jorgensen tees the ball up. They're back at about the 8-yard line now to receive the kickoff. The ball is kicked. Looks like a fairly decent kick. It'll be over to Joe White again. He catches it this time. Runs to the middle of the field for a return. Shakes off one tackle or two. Gets wrapped up on the third play. Takes it to about the 19-yard line.
You know, that was a decent return for all the Hillsboro guys that were coming straight at him. That was his first career return, and I think he should be pretty proud of that.
Tackle by Josh Funk on the play. So Sterling sets up 1st and 10 on their own 19-yard line, a very similar starting possession as their first drive. Jordan Profit is wide out to the left with Joel White in the slot, as on the other side is Colin Anderson with Blaine Shea. Kyler Comley mans the quarterback duties out of the spread pistol formation. Joel White goes in motion. The ball is going to be handed off to Shane Winters. He shakes off one tackle and gains about 6 yards to the 25-yard line. Shane Winters, as we saw last year, he's a pretty hard runner. He had to step up and take the starting position against Medicine Lodge last year as Tommy Shea was in the hospital with pneumonia. But he runs very hard and puts his head down and runs, and as we saw in that play, he evaded a tackle and picked up a substantial gain. Same spread formation, little different personnel. Joel White goes in motion. They'll give it to him. Joel will take it around the edge and gets wrapped up for a loss back to the 21-yard line, so that'll be a 4-yard loss.
And like I alluded to earlier, Cole, this is a big third down play, especially for the Black Bears, down 2 scores early in this game. I really look for the arm of Kyler Conley to be in some effect on this key third down play right here.
Sitting now on the 22-yard line of the south side of the field. This is where the whole game has been played so far. Kyler Comley back to receive the snap. Jordan Profit wide left. Colin Anderson wide right. Kyler receives it. Throws off a dump pass to Blaine Shea. He spins, evades one tackle, and is brought down. Depending on the spot, this could be very close to a first down. He sort of rolled off of the tackler there to gain about another yard.
Shea has been known last year for his juke moves, per se.
They're going to give him the first down here, so Sterling picks up their second first down of the night.
Good to see that key third down play for the Black Bears after they'd been stopped for consecutive losses on their 2 plays before.
That was just a nice curl route over the middle, and then after the curl, the receiver did with it what he would. Another pass here, a slant caught by, it's incomplete actually, it looked like it was caught by Colin Anderson. That's who it was intended for, but the ball falls incomplete. Now, I don't know if that was a drop or if that was a contested pass. I couldn't see. His back was to the press box here, but at least we're coming out throwing.
Yes, I look for this again here on second down to be another throw, get Comley going.
Kyler Comley in the pistol formation again with Shane Winters behind him. Wide left is Cody Salazar, wide right is Jordan Profit. Gives off the ball to Blaine Shea. He's going to cut it back up the middle for about no gain, maybe a loss on the play. They're going to call it a loss of 1. That'll bring up 3rd and 11 from Sterling's 29-yard line.
Right here, I'm expecting a big straight down the middle. Look for wide out Jordan Profit or Cody Salazar to get a touch on, or another wideout for Sterling to get a touch on this play. Kenan Comley has entered the game too. Look for that here.
Again, Prophet 6'6", covered by Grant Knoll, who's only 6'2". Comley receives the ball, looks to pass, throws it deep, intended for Blaine Shea. The pass is going to come up short, and it falls incomplete. So a 3rd and 11 Hail Mary falls incomplete. That'll bring up 4th and 11 for the Black Bears on their own 29-yard line.
Scott, did Kenan Comley seem open at all on that last play at all? Did you see anything there?
I couldn't see really much if he was open or not, but assuming how the play was going, it looked like he could have been open because he lined up on the left-hand side where the pass went into double coverage. So it looked like if he ran the post route or anything, he could have been open.
Blake Richter's going to handle the punting duty today for the Sterling Black Bears. The ball is picked up by Jacob Hanshoe, returned for about 5 yards to their own 47-yard line. So Hillsboro thus far has gotten an extremely better starting position on each of their drives than Sterling has. Sterling starting from the 20 and the 19. Hillsboro starting from about the 40 twice and off of that turnover, which was inside the opponent's 30-yard line.
Yeah, field position could be a big key in this game.
Now in the spread, Justice Hilliard takes the ball. He'll keep it. The defensive end gets trapped. He runs over a defender for about the 41-yard line, maybe 42.
And Justice Hilliard looks just really ready to go. He looks really hyped up for this one, as he should be. His first game as a senior, looking to lead the Trojans to the playoffs this year.
The 5'8" senior showing some good senior leadership out there, running very hard, running over a defender.
Very good. Very good is definitely agreed.
Now it looked like Shane Winters on the end got baited into a trap there. Looks like the tackle let him through, and then the pulling guard came over and trapped him. Hilliard will take the snap. He'll give it to Dustin Plenert. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, so that'll be no gain. 2nd and 10 for Hillsboro.
Tackled by number 80, Colin Anderson.
Tackled by number 80, Colin Anderson on the play. So Colin has 2 pretty good tackles here coming up, playing the free safety position.
Bears now taking play calls from Derek Schneider, it looks like.
Hilliard in the spread now rather than the full house pistol. Hilliard takes it, he'll fake it, looks to pass, rolling left. He'll get chased down by Jordan Prophet.
And boy, does this Hilliard for Hillsboro have quite the speed. As there were 2 tacklers that he just went by a little bit and made a potential no gain or loss into a good 2 or 3 yard gain.
And Will, I don't know if you noticed it, but it looks like Jordan Prophet got away with a little bit of a horse collar tackle there, coming from behind Hilliard to bring him down.
I didn't notice that, but maybe the ref didn't see it. Definitely favors Sterling on this key 3rd down play here.
So 3rd down and 10 from the 38-yard line. Hilliard back in the full house pistol. Hilliard takes it. He'll fake it. Back to throw. Here comes the rush. And they're going to get him down.
That's a big loss. Big loss on that play, but there is a flag out. A flag has came out.
A very late flag comes in.
72, Edward Weiner.
Looked like Edward Weiner got in there to clean up the mess. We'll see what this flag is. The refs are conversing, pointing to Hillsboro.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Sterling.
So they call a personal foul on Sterling. What number it is, I'm not quite sure. So after a sack for, looked like a 10-yard loss, it's going to be from the spot of the foul. So it's going to be 3rd and about 2.5 now, rather than 3rd and 10.
A very manageable 3rd down, especially with the legs of Justice Hilliard. We still have no call from the official. Scott, did you have it all?
Well, down here on the field, you can clearly hear Derek Schneider Coaches for Sterling clearly yelling.
Do we know who the foul was on?
I couldn't see personally who the foul was on and they're saying 10 guys in a pile is just hard to pinpoint, I think, for the coaches and for officials.
Okay, so it's 4th down now. Hilliard will take the snap, keeps it up the middle, and will pick up enough for the first down, going down to the 30. He can run hard, can't he, Will?
He sure can. He just looked like he barreled and blasted his way right through that gap just for about 4 yards, a perfect gain on 4th and down and short, and the drive will keep going for the Trojans.
So what would have probably ended up in a punt from about the 50-yard line after a personal foul play now ends up in a Hillsboro first down from the 30-yard line, knocking on the door once again.
Yes, they're almost in the red zone for the 3rd time tonight, I believe.
Hilliard in the spread with the empty set, gives it off to the up back. Fumble on the play, recovered by Colin Anderson.
No, it looks like Cody
Cody Salazar, number 85. So, after an early turnover by the Black Bears, they scoop up the fumble now. What'd you see down there, Scott?
Just came up with the tackle on that play. Just looked like the ball himself on top of it.
Scott, you might need to move closer to the middle of the field there, if you can.
Is this better?
Yes, that does sound better, Scott.
All right. Like I said, the ball just seemed to come stripped out of the runner's hands and ended up in Cody Salazar's.
Conley receives the snap, gives the ball to Shane Winters. He has a little bit of a hole. Takes it across the 30. That drive started on the 26-yard line, and they're going to mark him at the 31, so that'll amount to a 5-yard gain.
Pretty good first down play for the Black Bears as Shane Winters just rattled his way through the hole. Good.
2nd down now for the Black Bears, trying to shake off a 14-point deficit. There's 1:26 left to go in the first quarter.
It's been a fast first quarter thus far. It's kind of flown by.
Henry Weiner in at center now. Comley takes a snap, gives it to Blaine Shea. He shakes off a backfield tackle. Gets out of another tackle. Ball is on the ground. Jordan Profit will recover it, but that'll be a substantial loss. Looks like a loss of maybe 8.
Ball security, like I mentioned earlier, has been a problem so far for both teams, and we'll see if it becomes and continues to be a bigger issue. But you just see early in this game a lot of fumbles and maybe not necessarily strips, just definitely not weather conditions, but ball security has played a substantial factor in tonight's ballgame so far.
So after evading maybe 5 defenders, Blaine Shea coughs up the football, but it's recovered by Jordan Profit. Comley back in the pistol formation, Profit wide left, Salazar wide right. Comley takes it, back to pass, will dump it off to Shane Winters on the screen. Shane will run up, hits the defender hard. Looks like they're going to give him the first down on the 36-yard line. That was a very nice screen, something I've never seen from Sterling football before.
That's something that I've seen the San Diego Chargers run before.
Shane, with a similar physique as Darren Sproles, looked like he took the screen up there, had 2 blockers in front of him, utilized them well, and hit the defender, and was able to fall forward.
Hey, diddle diddle, Shane Winters up the middle. For 22 yards and the first down.
Okay, that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Hillsboro 14, Sterling 0. Well, Will, after that play, saving themselves on a 3rd down, something that seemed impossible last year. What do you think about that?
I thought that was a great play. Like you said before, we have not seen that almost ever from Sterling, so good coaching style to throw it a little screen pass there, and Shane Winters took it for some good yardage in the first down.
I think there's something to be said about changing around your offense, especially when you play the same people year after year. They can game plan only so much off of you. When you exchange film, they get your film from last year, and when you have a totally different offense, there's not a whole lot that the opposing team can do.
7-5-2. You are a winner.
Scott, what did you see on the screen pass there in terms of offensive efficiency and picking up the third down?
Well, coming from this year compared to last year, is that pocket was closing pretty fast for Kyler Comley, and just the upfield visibility that he had to dump the ball off winners for the first down conversion.
The pocket did collapse very quickly, and nice quarterback vision by Kyler Comley there to dump the ball off to Shane Winters. Also takes a very nice catch for Winters and the ability to turn upfield and run. So now it looks like we're going to get set for the beginning of the second quarter. Now we're going to be able to throw with the wind in the second and fourth quarters. So we'll see how that plays into the game. Comley in the pistol formation, takes the snap, back to throw, he will. Ball intended for Kenan Comley. Falls incomplete.
I think that brings Kyler Comley's passing total for tonight to something around 2 and 5 or 2 for 6.
Second down 10.
So, what hasn't been a very pass-oriented offense looks like 6 attempts on 3 drives here. So, we're seeing a little bit of a gain in the passing game. No targets for State player to watch Jordan Prophet yet in this game.
But that could change very quickly here as they look to pass it again.
Comley back in the pistol. Looks like a false start there by Zane Nichols. Looks like they tried the hard count and just got a little antsy. But that happens on, you know, it's the first game of the year. You want to get out there and hit somebody, and it's all about the Friday Night Lights. But it'll cost his team 5 yards. And on second and about 14 now, we'll see how this adds up.
Definitely look for a long passing play here.
Anderson wide right, Prophet wide left. Conley takes a snap, gives the ball to Winters. He breaks it up the middle. Winters takes a nice gain of about 18 yards up to the 49-yard line.
That was a great looking play by, it looks like running back tonight, Shane Winters, but he is, looks like he's holding something. He looks like he's in a little bit of pain. Scott, do you have a good angle on enough to see? It looks like he's thumping his helmet.
I can't really see anything that really happened down here. So I think honestly could have just got the wind knocked out of him on that hit.
Looked like Winters was undercut on the play, so it's one of those hold your breath moments for all you people at home. We're going to hope the best for him up here in the box. But we're going to take this time to thank Max Dutton and Garrett Sankey for filming the game tonight. And there's also something to be said about Shane Winters' hard running ability. He always takes the ball hard when he needs to, and unfortunately things can end up like this. Shane Winters walking off the field a little slowly, but at least he's walking under his own power for the most part, so that is always a good sign.
So look for Blaine Shea now to get some more looks in the backfield in these next couple plays here.
Shea takes the position of Winters as the running back in the pistol formation. Wide left is Anderson, wide right is Kenan Conley. Kyler Comley still at the quarterback position. Comley takes a snap, back to throw, under pressure, escapes the pocket, rolls out left, throws the ball. Ball is caught by Colin Anderson, and he's immediately leveled.
That was a nice looking play by Kyler Comley. Now, who did get tackled by?
Looks like David Dick made the tackle there. That was a fairly nice hit for David Dick, also a senior.
That was a heck of a catch by Colin Anderson there, as it looks like he was falling under his own momentum with Dick right there, and good looking play by the Black Bears.
Looks like Colin was running a streak route, and the ball was underthrown, so he had the play recognition ability to come back and catch the football. Comley back to receive the snap. He does. Gives it to Blaine Shea. Nice big hole up the middle. He takes it to the outside, wide right. He'll get forced He's still running. Still running. To about the 6-yard line. He evades, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 tacklers. It's a very nifty move shown by Blaine Shea. And that looks like it's a gain. Takes it to the 6-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 25 yards.
Huge play there by Blaine Shea. That was a heck of a run. Looks like he just hit it up to the outside, spinned a couple times, and found himself inside the 10-yard line.
And that was quite the hole on the off-tackle play. He decided to bounce it out rather than take it inside, and it paid off. So the Black Bears knocking on the door now with 10:57 left to go in the second quarter. Comley will receive the snap. Takes a snap. Gives it to Shea again. He's wrapped up in the backfield for only a loss of 1. That'll be 2nd and goal for the Black Bears. Scott, what did that last big run play look like for you?
Well, you could see that Blaine Shea took it to the outside, and he had the opportunity to cut it into the middle or take it all the way outside, depending on what kind of block he got. And he took it all the way to the outside, and he evaded a tackle right there. Then he turned on his jets and got about to the 10-yard line. It was getting dragged down. Then it had a great spin move, and then he finally got brought down around the 8-yard line.
All right, thanks for that, Scott. Comley back to receive the snap. Anderson wide right, Salazar wide left. Comley receives the low snap. He'll dump it off to Jordan Profit. Profit falls forward to about the 2-yard line, maybe the 1. That'll bring up 3rd and goal for the Bears. Going back to that running play, he had me confused. It looks like he was just going to take it out of bounds. He busted out the spin move at the end. He was about at the 18-yard line. He busted out the spin move and took it all the way down to the 6.
Just a great looking play, almost Tommy Shea reminiscent.
Well, they are brothers, Will. So, 3rd down and goal from the 2-yard line. A short yardage situation here for the Bears. Colin Anderson wide left, Kenan Comley wide right. Jordan Profit goes in motion. Kyler Comley's going to keep it himself, and he runs in for a touchdown.
Black Bears, number 10,
So, on the triple option play,
2 yards out.
Kyler Comley takes it himself, had the option to give it to Jordan Profit or pitch it to the up back. Comley takes it himself and finds pay dirt. So now 14-6. And we'll expect Sterling to go for 2 here.
When you don't have a kicker, or the luxury of having a kicker like Sterling does this year, they do have to go for 2 on most of their attempts.
Pistol formation, Salazar wide left, Anderson wide right. Comley with Shea still back at the running back position. Comley takes the ball back to pass, throws it to Jordan Profit. He'll get in for the 2-point conversion. So your score from Hillsboro, Hillsboro 14, Sterling 8. Sterling rebounding very well after recovering a fumble from the Trojans. Put together a very nice drive there, something I didn't expect to see.
You know, that was a very important drive and very well executed by everyone for the Sterling team. Obviously, it was set up by the big run by Blaine Shea, but I saw a lot of good blocking by the linemen, and what a finish by Kyler Comley, who's not known for his speed necessarily, more for his arm, but good mastery of the offense on his part to know that he could take it in and run it himself, and he did, and it turned out well for the Bears.
Will, that drive lasted maybe 5 or 6 minutes. So that was a very efficient drive for the Black Bears. 9:18 left in the second quarter. They got the ball with about 2 minutes left in the first quarter. So that was a very nice drive put together. In high school, you always expect scoring plays to be off of big plays, but that was not the case here. There was a few big plays, but in the end, it comes down to, you know, grabbing your keys and going on a drive. So after Hillsboro goes up 14-0 in the first quarter, what looked to be a runaway has slowly come back into a tolerable, manageable game for the Black Bears.
Looks like we have a new kicker out there, number 71.
That is Logan Gillespie, a freshman. So he'll handle this kickoff duty from the 40-yard line. He kicks it. It's a very high kick. And looks like Hillsboro dives on it. Hate to speculate. Yep, that's what they're going to say. Not quite sure who dove on it. It's always interesting to see those high kickoffs. If your kick team can get to the ball before the return team can, obviously you maintain possession.
Yeah, that was good. Maybe almost a trick play, as Logan Gillespie is not a commonly used player for the Bears, but that was nice to see from the freshman.
So now, after a little bit of offensive rest, we get Justice Hilliard back again. He'll keep it himself, take it up the middle. Looks like he's wrapped up at the feet by Edward Weiner. Gain of about 1, maybe 2. Very nice stop by the Black Bears. Very powerful runner. Got him with a shoestring tackle.
Yeah, I don't expect Hilliard to go down that easily on a ton more plays tonight, but that was a shoestring tackle by Weiner and a good-looking one at it. So it'll now be second down for Hillsboro from about the 38-yard line.
Right, 2nd and 8 from the 39-yard line for Hillsboro. Still have Hilliard in the backfield as quarterback. Back to the full house pistol formation. Hilliard will take the snap, gives it to the right up back, evades a tackle. Jacob Hanshoe takes the ball about 8 yards, depending on the spot. Looks like about 7. They're going to call it 3rd down and 1 from the 46-yard line.
3rd and 1 from the 46-yard line.
This is a very short one, mind you.
Brandon Frederick's been on a lot of tackles tonight.
Brandon Frederick comes in for the defensive end duties after Shane Winters went out on the right side. Looks like he and Jordan switch sides. So on the 3rd down play,
Edward Weiner with the tackle.
Justice Hilliard picks it up off the quarterback sneak under center. Looks like that's the only time they've gone under center tonight is when they're going to sneak it.
Now on the roster, it has Hilliard as running back, but that's obviously not the case.
Hilliard in the spread formation now. Takes a snap, looks to throw, rolls right. He's going to keep it himself. Jordan Profit and Cody Salazar with the combined tackle there. Gain of about 5.
Tackle made by Jordan Profit.
So the Sterling defense really hasn't given up a whole lot of big plays the very first play, but that's obviously shaken off some nerves there. And after that, they've been fairly stout, including recovering a fumble. They did have that sack that would have lost about 10 yards, but that was erased by a personal foul. So Hilliard will give the ball off. Running back has room. Jordan Profit chases him down, gets him at about the 41, but that'll be good enough for a Hillsboro first down. The running back there was Tyson Reimer.
And Hillsboro is just ramming their running plays down the throat of the Black Bear defense. Not the throat, I should say, but they are driving steadily as the Bears did to them on the last possession. So almost giving the Bears a dose of their own medicine, saying anything you can do, I can do better.
Hillsboro has elected to call a few passing plays, but 80% of the time they end up with Hilliard rolling out to either side and just taking it himself, which hasn't proved to be a bad strategy. So now Hilliard in the trips left formation, five receivers total. He'll keep it himself up the middle. He breaks the tackle. He breaks another tackle and is finally wrapped up by Cody Salazar at about the 21-yard line. So Hillsboro now knocking on the door again.
And this is just a one-man show so far. I mean, a couple plays by other people, but Hilliard would definitely be a star to watch for Hillsboro as this game goes on. The senior leader is just the heart of Hillsboro this year.
Doing a very good job is Justice Hilliard. Is going to be spread with 2 receivers to each side and a tight end on the right. Hilliard receives the snap, fakes it, he'll throw it, ball is tipped up in the air, and it ends up incomplete. The ball was tipped into the air, a very shallow tip, and it looks like a few Black Bears and a few Trojans had a chance at catching the ball, but it ends up knocked on the ground. Scott, what did that look like there?
Well, it looked like number 24 Shane Winters actually got a hand on the ball, and then it seemed to bounce around between Edward Weiner, Jordan Profit, and Shane Winters, and a few Hillsboro players. And unfortunately, and thankfully ended up as an incomplete pass.
So Shane Winters there with the deflection back in the game after returning from an injury. He'll man the right defensive end. Trips right. Hilliard takes a snap, rolls right to pass. Ethan Profit gets off of a block. Hilliard's being chased around. He looks like he has some room. He'll throw it to a wide open receiver, and it gets dropped.
That was very fortunate there for the Bears. It's number 46 for Hillsboro.
That was Jacob Funk.
Couldn't quite hang on there.
He really had nobody in the area as the entire defense shifted to the east side of the field, which is Hillsboro's right side, after Justice Hilliard rolled right, threw it across his body, and the ball ended up incomplete.
Just seemed like Funk was a little too worried about hitting the end zone and not catching the ball. That's something you got to do.
So, Hilliard back in the full house pistol formation, 3rd and 10 from the 21-yard line now. Hilliard will give it off. That'll be very close to a first down. Jacob Honshu, the ball carrier. Looks like a gain of about 9 depending on the spot. We'll give him 8. That'll be 4th down.
Officials timeout.
We have an officials timeout now.
Correction, timeout Sterling.
Timeout Sterling, excuse me. So, with 5:44 left in the second quarter, your score is Hillsboro 14,
White.
Sterling 8 after a timeout. We've got a 4th and short play here, 4th and about 2. And based on what we've seen earlier in this game, Hillsboro hasn't had any trouble picking up short yardage situations so far. But when you come down to it, there have also been a few plays where the Sterling defense has remained stout and held the Hillsboro Trojans to no gain or a loss.
So, Scott, if you were to predict this play on 4th down, what would you think? What do you think's been working, and what do you think formation-wise they'll go to on this crucial 4th down?
This play, if I'd have to say anything, I'd say since the way it's been played, since the way the game has been played so far, I'd just see Justice Hilliard taking it straight up the middle.
Okay. From previous knowledge, it could be that the Hillsboro Trojans will line up in their full house pistol set, which is the quarterback with a running back to either side and one behind him. That usually ends up being a read option play. Hilliard in at quarterback. They do go to the full house pistol play.
Nice call, Cole.
So rather than electing to kick a field goal here, looks like they're going to go for it. Full house pistol formation. Hilliard at the quarterback. He'll take it. He'll fake. He's going to pass. Open receiver. Ball is caught. Takes the hit by Cody Salazar. It's caught by David Dick, and he'll end up in the end zone. Scott, what did that pass look like?
13-yard touchdown.
It was a good rollout by Hilliard at the start, and you could just see the formation with David Dick going to the pylon, and then Cody Salazar actually read it really well, seeing that he was going out there, but Salazar just got there a little bit too late.
Looks like Salazar delivered a pretty big hit there on David Dick. I'm surprised he was able to hold on to it and then fall forward past the pylon, breaking the plane. The kick is up, and it's good from Jorgensen. So that brings us to a score of Hillsboro 21, Sterling 8, with 5:35 left to go in the first half.
I think what happened on that play was the breakdown in terms of the coaching staff, and the Bears went all in on the rush for Hilliard. He's been having a big game, and just maybe lost coverage on the play. Don't want to speculate too much. Of course, don't know what's going on the sideline. But every drive is getting bigger for the Bears as the Hillsboro Trojans are making a statement here tonight saying we're going to run all over you and we're going to score at will. So this is a pretty huge set of downs for the Bears.
And Will, a couple of accomplishments or good things that happened on that drive. Sterling really didn't give up any substantially gained plays on that drive other than the last touchdown, but that even wasn't very long. It was maybe 12 yards, and our starting running back Shane Winters came back into the game after leaving the game with a stinger.
That is definitely something to look forward to when we get deeper into the game, is Shane Winters, very nifty running back, is back in the game.
So now Jorgensen will kick off to the Black Bears. The Bears in all white today. Jorgensen, kind of a pooch kick. Looks like the kickoff is going to be recovered by the Trojans.
No,
No, they're going to rule it for the Black Bears. They're going to rule the ball to the Black Bears on the 23-yard line. So you could say horrendous starting field position so far for the Black Bears, starting deep in their own territory on all of their drives. But they have been able to convert one of them for a touchdown.
You know, we haven't seen the deep pass yet in the game, but with this not great field position, look for the deep ball early on in this series.
Shane Winters back in at running back. Colin Anderson wide right, Jordan Profit wide left in the same pistol formation with Kyler Comley. Blaine Shea the up back, they'll give it to him. He cuts it up the middle, gets wrapped up, breaks that tackle, gets wrapped up again. He'll gain about 2. Blaine Shea running very conservatively, dodging a lot of tacklers and breaking a lot of arm tackles.
Very shifty looking by Blaine Shea. We'll see if Shane Winters can get some more touches here.
The running back duo for Sterling being Blaine Shea and Shane Winters. Shane Winters is more of your power back, as undersized as he is. Shane Winters is only 5'7", and Blaine Shea, about the same height, will beat you with his nifty quick moves. So 2nd and 8 from the Sterling 26-yard line, Kyler receives the snap. He'll throw it over to Blaine Shea, and he's immediately hit about the 29-yard line.
I don't think he caught the ball. I think the pass was incomplete.
Looks like it's going to be ruled incomplete. That was a vicious hit. That got the crowd into it, Will.
It certainly did. It looked like the student section was pretty happy with the hit of their Trojan player.
Looks like it was a pretty good throw to a fairly open receiver, just the hit knocked the ball loose. Colin Anderson will run in the play for the Black Bears, 3rd and 8. 4:36 left to go in the first half.
And the Bears do not want to give the ball up, as Hillsboro has been steadily driving on them all game, so this is a big play in this game.
Henry Weiner still at the center position. Colin Anderson wide right. Looks like Kenan Comley wide left. Kyler Comley drops back to throw. He'll air out the long ball to a wide open Kenan Comley. He's going to catch it, run to the middle of the field, try to get a couple blocks. He does from Colin Anderson. He's eventually chased down there by, looks like, that was a very nice play. That was a deep ball, Will.
That you could see the cousin connection on that play. Calmly to calmly. They've had years of experience throwing to each other, and it definitely showed up on that play.
So freshman Kenan Comley will receive the longest play of the game for the Black Bears so far. That was a very nice throw from the lefty Kyler Comley to his cousin Kenan.
Good catch, too, as the defender was approaching. Way to hang on to the ball.
Kyler takes the snap. He'll give it to Blaine Shea, who's the running back now. Stop for maybe no gain, maybe a gain of 1. Plenty of time with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Look for more deep passes like we've been saying. That's been something that's really worked well when the receiver is open and the line is protected, giving Comley enough time. That was a heck of a pass, and I personally look for them to continue to pass as this drive goes deeper on. Is that what you're thinking, or something different, Cole?
Well, on that, I would like to say, on that last play, that last passing play, Kyler Comley just unleashed the beast there, and you could hear the collective groan as they saw the open Kenan Comley streaking down the field. Kyler takes the snap. The ball is deflected at the line of scrimmage, intended for somewhat open Jordan Profit on the slant route. But yeah, like I said, that pass. He unleashed a bomb. You could see he was going to throw it far. And my eyes directly shot to Kenan Comley, and you could hear the collective groan in the crowd as they saw a wide open Kenan Comley.
That was a great play, and he might have underthrown him a little bit, as Kenan Comley had almost 10 yards at one point on that play. So you wonder if he could have thrown right to his arms and kept him running, what could have happened. But we've got a key third down here, so I'll let it play out.
3rd down and 10, same pistol formation. Colin Anderson wide right, Cody Salazar wide left. Comley will take the snap, drops back to pass. He'll throw it. Ball is caught by Cody Salazar, and he'll run it across the 5-yard line. Gets hit. There's a flag down. That was thrown by the back judge.
David Dick with the tackle.
You never know what that could be.
This is a big call waiting.
Officials are conversing at the line. 2 are. We're going to get the call here in a minute. The White Hat's going to give the call. Nope, now they're huddling back up to converse again. Well, since the back judge threw it, you think it could be maybe an illegal contact penalty or possibly like a block in the back from a downfield receiver. I'm just not sure, Will. The White Hat's going to give the call now.
Face mask. 5 yard. Against Hillsboro.
That's as you could hear, that's a 5-yard face mask against Hillsboro. So add that on to the end of Salazar's catch. That'll be 1st and goal for the Black Bears. 3:15 left in the first half. 21-8. Hillsboro leads. Colin Anderson wide right. Looks like Cody Salazar wide left. Kyler Comley at the quarterback position. Jordan Prophet goes in motion. They'll give it to him. And he's going to run in for the touchdown.
In for the touchdown. 2-yard touchdown run.
So the Black Bears celebrating in the end zone after scoring a 2nd consecutive touchdown.
That play, I think that play was almost exactly identical to Comley's first rushing touchdown, except this time he handed off to Prophet.
The read option from the slot seems to be working quite well for the Sterling Black Bears in the early season. Sterling going for 2 now in the pistol formation. Colin Anderson wide right. Cody Salazar wide left with Blaine Shea as one slot and Jordan Prophet as the other. Correction, that's Joel White on the right side. Motion, Kyler's going to keep it himself, and he looks like he gets stopped. So 21-14 is going to remain the score for now with 3:04 left in the first half. Hillsboro still leads.
PAT fails.
So on that read option play, it looks like Kyler saw a hole up the middle, but the hole quickly closed as the middle linebacker came in and cleaned up the mess.
Yeah, it looked very similar to Comley's touchdown, as I mentioned a second ago. That's all right, though, because the Bears had a very good drive, and I like how the Bears are playing right now. A little back-and-forth action going on with each team in terms of offensive efficiency, and it's good football to watch.
And, Will, I would say that 6 points and no conversion is better than no points at all. So, with the early conversion, though, still a 1-score lead by Hillsboro as they kick field goals, so 21-14 here.
At Joel Wines Stadium in Hillsboro, Kansas.
Scott, how did that touchdown look?
Well, that touchdown was a great play. As you said earlier, it was essentially the same play that Kyler Comley ran, except just with a bigger Jordan Prophet, and he decided to cut it up the middle with relatively quick moves for a big man. But something that you can see with the past 2 drives that the Black Bears have had is they've gained their feet and they've gained their confidence in throwing the ball and running the ball, and that's why you can see the scores now 21-14.
The 6'6", 220-pound Jordan Prophet had some persuasion on the goal line there, barreling his way in. The low kick is taken and run back by Hillsboro. Sterling still trying to tackle him. Looks like they're going to call him down at the 42-yard line.
Now, Cole, are they kicking against the wind, or is this strategic on Sterling's part? What do you think is with all these short kickoffs?
Right now, Sterling is kicking with the wind. At least it was with the wind down on the field earlier before the game. So this will be first down, Hillsboro, starting on their 43-yard line. Again, good starting field position for the Trojans. The trap is sniffed out by outside linebacker Henry Weiner. That was a nice hit. I could hear a nice little pop there.
As Mr. Comley would say, the popping of the pads, man.
The popping of the pads, man.
Oh, yeah.
That was a very nice hit by Henry Weiner, filling his hole correctly. It was I thought it was a well-executed trap. I could hear the pop of the trap man, of the pulling guard trapping the trap man, and then Henry Weiner filled the gap.
Very well executed.
Henry Weiner's going to go cover a receiver now and trips right with Hilliard back as the quarterback still. Hilliard's going to drop back, takes a 3-step drop, rolls left. He's going to keep it. He's got a little room to run. Colin Anderson wraps him up at the 50. That was a really great open field tackle by Colin Anderson there. So that'll lead up to a 3rd and 3.
That was great leadership almost in terms of making that big play by Colin Anderson, because he did look like he could have some extra yardage and no one was there in the vicinity. So great play by Colin, and we've got a huge 3rd down coming up.
This is a little worrisome for the Sterling sideline, I would imagine, as Hillsboro has had no trouble picking up short yardage situations. Trips right with 2 to the left. Hilliard backs up to pass. The rush is coming. And he's going to be brought down eventually. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. Shane Winters initially wrapped him up, but it took Jordan Profit and Brandon Frederick to finally clean him up.
And I personally quite expect Hillsboro to go for this. As you said earlier, it's been absolutely no problem for Hillsboro. It could be an iffy call, but I think on their home field here at Joel Wine Stadium, they will go for it, and we've got a timeout by Sterling.
So they're going to give him a gain of 1, and Sterling calls a timeout. And this is actually a very competitive game so far, Will. A lot of big hits, a few big plays, a couple of touchdowns. Can't ask for much more than that.
It's been fun football to watch. Moments good, at moments bad. Just a pretty good way to start this football season.
Scott, how's the sideline look?
Well, the sideline's looking pretty good right now. You can see that both teams are actually doing pretty well. This should be a pretty big 4th down stop if Sterling can get it. By the way, the game's been played so far, most likely Justice Hilliard with his Marshawn Lynch-esque type running will just take it himself and try to pick up the 1st down. But this would be a huge stop for the Sterling Black Bears if they could get it.
Scott, what was the reaction on the Hillsboro sideline when Henry Weiner came up with that big hit?
Let's just say there was a lot of oohs and ahs.
Okay, they're going to break the huddle after the timeout with 1:07 left to go in the first half. There's really no reason not to go for it here. Try to score before the half. In the full house pistol formation, Hilliard is the quarterback. 1 wide to the left. Hilliard will give the ball off, and it looks like they're going to pick up the 1st. That was Tyson Reimer. He's had a few nice carries today, along with Jacob Hanshu, but I would say that the overall running from Justice Hilliard has been the key factor for Hillsboro in this game.
If we can, if the Black Bears can stop that more in the second half, that'll be a huge key for them. And it's a minute left to play, so if the Black Bears can just regroup here on defense after giving up that 1st down, they could go into the half at a very favorable situation, a road game, right in it.
So Hillsboro calls a timeout now. And, well, something that I've noticed is, really, as far as football goes, Sterling hasn't really made any mistakes with the exception of the 1 fumble. After that 1 drive, they've scored touchdowns on both of their other drives, and they've been moving the ball nicely with the run and pass game.
They definitely have, Cole. Comley has looked sharp as his first I guess, second career start, as he had a start last year against Smoky Valley in the very same situation. But Comley's looked sharp. We've had great senior leadership. I think that is definitely a headline so far for me anyway, is the senior leadership on making these key tackles and key catches and key plays, and it's nice to see that.
The only thing that's not so good to see with Sterling is their inability to stop the Trojans on any of their drives. Hillsboro has been steadily picking up yards, taking up a lot of time, chewing a little bit of clock, and if they could score here right before the half, that could be detrimental to the Black Bears. So Hilliard, the lone back now, trips right, 2 to the left. Hilliard's going to take it. Quick rush from Brandon Frederick, Colin Anderson. Wow, the ball is caught by Jacob Hanshu over Colin Anderson. Colin ran to cover him. I don't think he could have done much of a better job. You know, he was right on him. It looked like he got burned on the play, but he caught up. I think the ball hit his helmet, and Jacob Hanshu just came up with the immaculate reception.
And the worst part of that for the Black Bears is only 6.5 ticks of the clock came off.
So Justice Hilliard now cuts it back to the left. He's going to get chased down by Colin Anderson, gets wrapped up at about the 3.
And
Colin Anderson having a couple of rough plays in a row here, gets up a little slow. Looks like he's all right, limping a little bit. He's had a few leg problems. Just coming off of shin splints last week. But it looks like he's going to stay in the game.
Really huge play right here.
He walks it off. Hillsboro in the spread now, 1st and goal. That is Hilliard. Keeps it up the middle for an unsubstantial gain. Maybe 1. Bears defense stands tall. Scott, what did that last play look like?
Well, on the pass to Hilliard, going downfield where it actually bounced off the helmet, it was honestly just a great catch. And on the last play, that was just a run up the gut by Hilliard. It just looked like the interior just kind of closed on him, and which led to a Black Bear gang tackle.
So now a little bit of strategy here from Hillsboro, calling their 2nd time out of the half. They'll have 1 left after this. It's going to be 2nd and goal now. Is that right, Will?
Yes, it is.
2nd and goal from the 3. So they let the clock run down to
22.3 seconds.
Well, it looks like they've reset some time. It's at 1:06 right now and ticking. So they're doing something with the clock. So wherever it ends up, it looks like they were going to burn the clock, call a timeout, and rely on 1 play. And then if that didn't work, they were going to call a timeout and rely on the next, just to keep Sterling from having any time to score. Clock's still running here. 22 seconds. That must have been the timeout timer.
2nd down and goal from the 3-yard line for the Trojans.
22 seconds now. The Trojans have 1 timeout left. Hilliard takes the ball up the middle. There's a penalty flag. He is stopped.
Tackled by 53, Eric Vogt.
Eric Vogt comes up with the initial hit. We're going to see what this penalty flag is all about. It's thrown by the white hat. He's going to give us the call.
Holding on the offense.
So holding on the offense will move the Trojans back 10 yards with 17 seconds and 1 timeout left. That'll be a repeat of the down.
This could almost be a little more troublesome for the Bears, as now Hilliard's arm comes into play. It's a little farther. So I potentially look here for maybe a breakdown in the play like we saw earlier on that first touchdown. But what would you say, Cole?
Well, I agree with you. The closer you get to the goal line, the easier it is to defend because you don't have to defend so much space. Hillsboro Trojans quickly break the huddle, trips right to the left. Looks like Hilliard's going to throw. He could run, you never know. Hilliard throws it deep left. The ball is caught. He's wrapped up by Colin Anderson to no avail. He falls across the goal line for the touchdown. That's Jacob Hanshoe. So that brings us to a score of 27-14 with 3.1 seconds left to go.
And that's really a big killer for the Black Bears there, as they only needed a few more seconds, but that's all right. They're still right in this game, and we'll see if Jorgensen can execute this PAT.
An important thing now is the play was defended by Colin Anderson. He gave him a nice hit, but he still was able to fall into the end zone. So an important thing now is to keep your head up, and that's what it's all about. Jorgensen's kick is very short, barely made it, but it is good nonetheless. So that'll be 28-14 Hillsboro, 3.1 seconds left to go. So Sterling will be able to return the kickoff.
I expect a squib kick by Hillsboro.
Well, that would be the sensible thing to do, I would think. But you never know. If you get somebody like Jordan Profit, gets some hands on the ball and runs over a couple people, you never know what could happen. This just brings me back to a memory of 3 years ago. It was a JV game, and big kid, Tanner Stallings. He's about 6'4". He's a healthy 250. He's pretty solid.
It's a good way to put it, Cole.
It was a JV game, and they had a squib kick, and Tanner was on the second line, and he got the ball, and probably 5 or 6 people tried to tackle him, and he just took it all the way to the house. So you never know. Something like that could happen. That second line looks like Zane Nichols, Ethan Profit. I can't tell who the other two are, but either of them could get it.
And really, all you're looking for here is just one play to end the half. There really is no problem for the Bears could run into in terms of Hillsboro scoring again.
So Jorgensen back to kick. He'll kick it deep, and the kickoff is muffed. It's going to be picked up though. We'll see what Ken and Conley can make out of it. He just goes down, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first half. Your score, Hillsboro 28, Sterling 14. So the Sterling Black Bears will receive the kickoff, but after that late Hillsboro touchdown and very good game management by the Trojans, Trojans are up by 2 scores now. So in order to win this game, you're either going to have another possession or force a turnover. So we'll see what happens here. Don't count anything out. It's only a 14-point lead.
If we've learned anything over the years, it is definitely to not count these cardiac-esque Bears out of any game, as they've come back from insurmountable deficits before, and I'm sure they can do it again.
It's a very nice night out. Pretty clear. A few clouds. Very cool. And well, we're going to step away for the halftime. We will be back in around, let's say, 12 to 13 minutes. Signing off is Cole Slepsky with my partner Will Dutton. We'll see you in a few.
Hillsboro.
How many do you think how many do you think we have? I'm assuming, I don't know if we have 2 of them. You think we have about 5 people? I bet we only have 2. Maybe at most 5.
Hello fans, and welcome back to Joel Ween Stadium. I'm your play-by-play announcer, Cole Slepsky, along here with my color partner,
Will Dutton.
And we have Scott Dellinger on the sideline as a reporter. We'd like to give a special shout out to Max Dutton and Garrett Sankey for filming for us tonight. Couldn't do it without them, and also a special thanks to Mr. Richter for doing all the technical things. So, starting in the second half, we're going to have Sterling receiving the kickoff. Still have Joel White and Blaine Shea back there, it looks like. No, it looks like Kenan Comley's back there for Joel. So, what are you looking to expect here in the second half, Will?
I look for the Black Bears to come out in a passing attack. I felt like that was the most productive in our long drives that we had, and that's what I'm looking for.
Ball is kicked by Jorgensen. Blaine Shea's going to have a shot at it. He catches it, runs to the middle, to the wall. He's going to take it up the middle, gets a little bit of room, and he's wrapped up at about the 37-yard line. So finally, Will, not an atrocious starting field position for the Black Bears. An interesting statistic from the first half. Sterling was not able to stop Hillsboro on any drive with the exception of the fumble recovery. So each team has a turnover, and each team was able to capitalize on it, and your score is 28-14. So Sterling starting now, 1st and 10. Looks like we're going to have the same pistol set the entire game. Colin Anderson wide right, Kenan Comley wide left, Kyler Comley to receive the snap. Looks like Blaine Shea in at running back. Joel White goes in motion. They're going to hand it off to him. He takes it up the middle for a gain of about 5.
Very good gain by Joel White on that play. I think that might be the first time he's carried the ball all night in an offensive series. So nice job by Joel. Good blocking by the line, and it was a solid play. Sets up for a very manageable 2nd down and 5 for the Black Bears.
So the sophomore rookie picks up a gain of 5. Leads to 2nd and 5. Pistol formation, same receivers. We've got Jordan Prophet in the slot to the left, and it looks like maybe Joel in the slot to the right. Blaine Shea in at running back in for Shane Winters. He gets the ball. He'll take it up the middle, evades a tackle, he gets hit. That looked like a very aggressive tackle. He bounces up from it, though. That looks like a gain of about 9. So very explosive running from a sophomore and a junior, 2 shifty runners to start out the second half of the Black Bears, and that'll be a 1st down.
Kyler Comley has to like his job right now as the running backs are being very efficient. Just simply hand the ball off, get some good yards, and that's football for you, folks.
Now we have Kenan Comley to the left, Colin Anderson to the right. Jordan Prophet goes in motion. Kyler takes the snap, hands it to Jordan. He's got a wide open right side, hits a defender, falls forward for a gain of 7.
Good looking play by Jordan Prophet there. Just handed it off to him, and he went around the right corner. Good block by the receiver out there, and he gained 7. And this is looking very promising for the Black Bears early on.
You've got a more aggressive runner in the 6'6", 220-pound Jordan Prophet. A little bit of senior leadership there. He was on the All-State Players to Watch for Class 3A this year. Salazar to the left, Anderson to the right. Prophet and White in the slots. White goes in motion. They're going to give it to him. He cuts it back up to the middle.
Looks like maybe just enough for the 1st down. Maybe a little short.
It'll depend on the spot. It's pretty close. Anyway, we're going to call it a gain of 3. They're going to say 3rd down. 3rd down and maybe a couple inches.
Joel White got up a little bit slow on that play, but he's still in there, showing some good grit. on his part.
So Sterling comes up with their first third down of the second half. Shea still back in the backfield. Comley to the left, Anderson to the right. Joel White goes in motion. Kyler's going to keep it himself, gets hit initially, and he's going to be drugged down. This is going to be close. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and then the tackler sort of spun him, so he was able to fall forward. The spot's going to be close here. Looks like it's going to be 4th and short.
I don't expect a quarterback sneak here. What would you say, Cole?
Well, I certainly don't expect a punt down 2 possessions in the second half. Scott, how close is that down there?
Well, I'd definitely say from down here, it looks about 4th and maybe a foot, if just a little bit less. But if I was going to expect any play, I'd say either send Profit, White, or Shea in motion to either side and possibly have him cut it up middle or take it all the way around.
Really what we're looking for is just to be able to get back to the line of scrimmage and fall forward. It's only a gain of a foot. That's all you need to get a first down, and it would be detrimental for the Black Bears to fail this conversion and give the Trojans the ball on the 39-yard line.
Believe it or not, that would be some of the Trojans' worst field position so far in this game, as they have had outstanding field position all game long. So it would not be good for the Bears to miss this 4th down, but if they could, let's say, miss it barely, Hillsboro would be in some of its worst field position.
That is interesting to hear. After a timeout by Sterling, still huddled up there. The coaches are probably discussing what they're going to do on this 4th down. There's a possibility of a little bit of under center action for the first time, but I would doubt it.
Now, do you think there's absolutely any shot of a little screen dump pass at all, Cole, or all run?
You know, I don't know. You've got Anderson wide to the right and Salazar wide to the left. Same pistol spread. Jordan Profit goes in motion. Kyler Comley goes to pass, and the pass falls incomplete there. So a failed 4th down conversion will give the Hillsboro Trojans their first shot at the second half. Leading 28-14, the Trojans do.
Trojans will take over on downs at the 39-yard line.
Well, that's unfortunate for Sterling there, as they had stringed together some good-looking plays. But Hillsboro does now have the ball, and like I said, some of their worst field position of the night, which is just a testament to their great field position thus far. And here we go.
Okay, we're going to have Hilliard back in the quarterback position in the spread now. He gives the ball off, and he is wrapped up immediately by Brandon Frederick.
That was just a great play by Brandon Frederick.
Dustin Plinter gets the ball and just gets hit immediately for maybe a loss of 3. So looks like the defense is tightening up for the Bears, and they definitely need a stop, as they did not get one except for the fumble in the first half.
Now, my favorite part of that play was the simple fact that Justice Hilliard handed the ball off.
That's what any Sterling fan would like to see at this point in the game. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 13 from the 36-yard line. Hilliard has 3 to the right, 1 to the left, and a running back. Hilliard rolls to the right, gets a nice block from his running back. The pass he throws is caught. Looks like a wide open Elliot Ullenberger. He'll pick up not enough for the first down, but enough for a quite manageable 3rd down.
And
it's going to be about 3rd and 2.
And Justice Hilliard shows again why he is manning the ship this year for Hillsboro, as he can do it with his legs, he can beat you with his arm. Just a multiple talented young man, Justice Hilliard, the senior quarterback.
Now back to the full house pistol set with Hilliard in at quarterback. He's going to hand it off. Running back has a little bit of room up the middle, stuck initially by Colin Anderson, is brought down by a gang of Black Bears. Looks like Jacob Hanshoe gets the carry. And again, the Black Bears unable to hold the Trojans on 3rd and short.
Run is good for a first down for the Trojans into Black Bear.
And they keep the chains a churning.
Moving into Black Bear territory now, the Hillsboro Trojans will start on the Black Bears' 48-yard line. Black Bears again in their all-white uniforms. Hilliard with a running back and trips to the right with one to the left. Hilliard will take it. He'll roll to the right. Not very much pressure. He gets a little bit now. He's going to roll back out to the left. The play is cleaned up by Jordan Profit after a gain of about 5. So Hilliard rolling out to the right, sees nothing there, spins around and runs to the left. He's pretty speedy, so of course that goes for about 5.
He made a simple play of a no-gainer turn into something, and that's something that Todd Sire, or Mr. Sire, the head coach of Hillsboro, just has to love. His senior leader keeps making plays for him, and he's got to enjoy that, as the crowd here at Joel Wines seems to too.
So we're going to have a second and about 6 in the full house pistol formation with one to either side of Hilliard. Hilliard will take it and he'll hand it off. Goes up the middle for another substantial gain. That was Tyson Reimer on the carry, number 7. He's gotten a few carries. Picks up another first down.
Scott, are the Black Bears looking any at all visually winded or tired or anything, or do they look fine?
Well, what it looks like is they just didn't come out in the second half on defense just with the energy that it seemed like they had through the first half at the beginning of the game. Maybe fatigue or tiredness has a factor in it, but it just doesn't look like they came out with the same kind of energy or excitement.
Hilliard has trips to the right with a running back and one to the left. He'll keep it himself, just a straight blast play. A flag goes down as he tries to hurdle a defender. He'll have about a 2 or 3 yard gain. And then the flag coming up, they're going to have a little bit of a discussion here. I would speculate that it's a holding penalty thrown from the white hat. That's usually where those come from.
Holding.
Yep, that's what it is. That'll be a 10-yard penalty, and they'll be able to keep the down. So Sterling with a favorable field position for the Trojans now, outside of the chains. That's always a good thing that happens, but that also opens up the pass for Hillsboro, as we saw late in the second quarter.
Now, I know Hilliard has a decent arm, but I would really like to see how his deep ball looks, and maybe Hillsboro, like you just mentioned, could see that deep ball in action here soon, possibly.
Now the down marker says 1st and 16. I would assume it's second down. Hilliard back to throw. He throws and the ball is deflected by, it looked like Jordan Profit. Looked like he could have made a play on the ball, but he just got turned around and the ball hit the ground before he could.
Scott, how close was that to an interception on that play?
Well, it seemed like number 50 batted the ball down, or batted the ball up in the air.
That'd be Henry Weiner.
And Jordan Profit was just trying to locate the ball, and seems like he found the ball just at the wrong time.
So Hilliard now with trips to the right and 2 to the left on second down now. He is going to be wrapped up this time with no personal foul penalty coming in. That's only going to be about a loss of 2, but it's going to bring up third down and let's say 18.
And this is great. This is a great stand by the Black Bear defense right here, and huge third down coming up. I expect the pass, but you never know with Hilliard's legs. What do you think, Cole?
Well, the Black Bears looking for their first stop of the Trojans of the game, and looks like there's going to be a timeout from Hillsboro. I'm thinking that if Hillsboro can get back inside the chains, they have a nice field goal try kicking with the wind this quarter. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of wind. Well, the flag's moving a little bit, and they would be kicking with the wind. And of course, when you have a kicker that was kicking, let's say about 45 yards into the wind in pregame, you never know what could happen. It's always worth a shot. His last extra point attempt looked a little flimsy, but when you practice it, you might as well use it, right, Will?
That's exactly right, Cole. When you have the luxury of having a great kicker on your team, you use him to the best of his abilities, and obviously that's been a distinct advantage the Trojans have had on the Bears tonight.
Both teams still in their huddles. This 3rd and 18 looks very favorable for the Black Bears, but I would not rule anything out here as the Trojans have picked up a couple of long plays. After a holding penalty towards their own end zone, they threw a touchdown pass the next play, so we'll see what happens here, Will.
This is a huge play in this game. The outcome of this play alone could change the momentum and give it right back to the Black Bears, but we'll see. Here we go.
Both teams come back up to the line. Trips right to the left. Hilliard throws. Pass is going to be incomplete, and they're going to throw a flag there. Looks like it's going to be a pass interference call. Scott, what did that look like? Was that questionable to you, or was it pretty blatant?
Well, it looked pretty questionable from down here. I mean, it was just solid coverage through the whole time with Cody Salazar on number 4. I'm not really sure what the official saw, but it didn't really look anything too major on pass interference or anything of the sort. All
right, well, it looks like it's still going to be 3rd down, but a significantly less amount of yards to go. It's going to be about 3rd and 3. A much more manageable situation for the Trojans, and it seems like every time the Bears get them in a 3rd and long situation, a penalty puts an end to any hopes. There still is hope here for a 3rd down stop. It's going to be about 3rd and 5.
Justice Hilliard, if he hasn't already caught the league coach's attention coming in, I think they can just look at the box score of this game and probably understand that when they play the Trojans, he'll be a major part of their offense.
Justice Hilliard now in the full house pistol set with one to the left and tight end on either side of him. Justice Hilliard will take it, give it off to the middle, and it looks like the Bears have stopped the Trojans on 3rd down. Gain of 2 to 3, get to about the 30-yard line, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. They stopped them for shorter than I looked. It was only a gain of about half a yard. Good interior defense by the Black Bears.
Good encouragement by the coaches right now. It's we're getting later and later into the game. Maybe players getting more tired, but the coaches are saying, you can do this, and encouragement helps at this point in the game.
So after a failed 4th down conversion from the Black Bears, Hillsboro gets put in a similar situation. Spread 2 to either side of Hilliard with a running back next to him. He's going to fake to the running back. He's going to throw it to a wide open receiver, and the receiver is going to be brought down by Colin Anderson.
And boy, did Justice Hilliard make that look as easy as it looked for us. Really just a simple pass play out to his slot receiver, and good pickup, and the chains keep moving as this drive continues.
The quick slant route in the slot is almost an impossible route to cover, especially if you play back off of the receivers like the Black Bears have been thus far. After I say that, now it looks like they're going to come up on him a little bit. Hilliard's going to hand it off, and the running back plows ahead for about 5. On the run was Dustin Plenert. So now the Hillsboro Trojans knocking on the door once again, as they have in every single drive in the first half.
It would be really quite something to see if the Black Bears could make a resurgent stop here, but we'll see.
In the full house pistol set, Hilliard receives the snap, gives it off, and he's stopped immediately. That is Tyson Reimer with the carry, maybe a gain of 1. And you've got to have some sympathy for the Black Bears here. Almost all of their starters playing both sides of the ball, which in a game with 12-minute quarters, that's 48 minutes of football you've got, and that can wear you down a little bit, but that's what that good old conditioning's for.
They do have an excellent conditioning coach, Cole, so I don't think they should be too worried about that. And Tyson Bowerly is a great coach in terms of conditioning.
Players don't look that fatigued down on the field, just standing waiting for the play to develop. Justice Hilliard, in the full house set. He'll keep it himself. He bounced it out to the outside, and he's going to run in for a Hillsboro touchdown. With 2:01 left in the third quarter, that puts the Hillsboro Trojans up 34-14. Now it looks like they're going to kick the point after. So again, another read option out of the full house pistol. Hilliard elects to keep it himself, tries to go inside, see if there's nothing out there, bounces it to the outside after the trap of the defensive end, and the score goes to Hilliard.
You know what? I heard someone from Hillsboro earlier on the other side of this press box say that
the kick is up and good.
Say that the final score of this game would be 35-21, and right now that's looking pretty good on his part.
35-14 now is the score. Sterling will receive the ball with a little over 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. What seems to be an insurmountable lead could quickly change, but you've got to like Hillsboro's chances in this one, Will.
You sure do. Just the way and the flow and the energy of their offense has been really great. Their defense has been good. Maybe not even given enough credit, really, as the Black Bears have made self-mistakes on their own. But Hillsboro defense hasn't looked atrocious. But the main statement of this game so far has been the play of the senior Justice Hilliard.
And Will, every time that Sterling has held Hillsboro outside of the chains on a third down play, 3rd and over 10, a penalty has come back to bite them, and 3 scoring drives have led off of those separate plays.
Would you expect an onside kick if we can get a quick score here, Cole?
I think more likely would be a high kick and try to run after it like we saw earlier. Here's an onside kick from the Trojans, recovered by Colin Anderson, and he immediately gets leveled. But with good starting field position, and it's always good when you have a receiver on your front line to protect against any sort of onside kick.
The Black Bears haven't used the deep ball much tonight, but they had one big play to Kenan Comley, and to get back into this game really fast, their passing game is going to have to be pretty efficient. I think that they have a good chance of going with that, as the run of being down 3 scores, the run won't be as effective, but we'll see what happens.
All right, here we are with the pistol set. Salazar wide to the left, Anderson wide to the right. Jordan Prophet goes in motion. Kyler takes the pass, or takes the snap, passes it to Joel White for a gain of 7.
That was a quick
slant route from the slot, similar to what we saw Hillsboro pick up the 4th down with.
Now, if we could get about 10 more of those, we'll have a touchdown.
That does bring us to about the 48-yard line. That was about an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2 here.
Hilliard is signaling to the fans to get pumped. He's pumped, and the senior leader is enthused.
Again, Anderson wide right, Salazar wide left. You have Jordan Prophet and Joel White in the slot with Blaine Shea in at running back. Shane Winters not back. Kyler Conley goes deep to the middle, and the pass appears to be intercepted by the Hillsboro Trojans. David Dick comes up with the interception. I don't know, it looked like there was maybe a little bit of contact there, but
Scott, I know you didn't have a great look, but did you see did you feel like there was any contact on that play?
I'm not sure if there was any contact, but that ball just was to the wide receiver, and unfortunately it landed in Hillsboro's hands.
Sterling played a similar game in Week 1 last year against the Smoky Valley Vikings.
Sterling was up 12-0 on the Vikings before the 4A Division I opponents decided to come out and play. So now Hillsboro in the spread offense with trips to the right and one to the left. Hilliard gets the ball, looks to pass, throws it to his left defender. Colin Anderson immediately sticks him at the 30-yard line.
Would you expect Hillsboro to do the obvious here, Cole? Just run some clock in that 4th quarter?
Well, coming out passing the ball, I'm not so sure that that's going to happen, especially after trying an onside kick after scoring a touchdown, so it looks like the coach is going to treat this more like a practice than anything else. Hillsboro comes back up to the line in the full house pistol formation with one on either side of Hilliard. Hilliard will take it. He'll hand it to the running back. He'll pick up a first down. Looks like there was almost a little skirmish on the field, but that got settled. So now we're getting some substitutions in as linebacker Henry Weiner comes off of the field for the Black Bears. In for him was Brandon Frederick, yes. Joel White in on defensive end for Shane Winters. Haven't seen Shane Winters at all yet this second half. Couldn't guess why. Looks like there's going to be a timeout here. Oh, quarter. So that brings us to the end of the third quarter, where your score is Hillsboro 35, Sterling 14. So Will, how would you analyze that third quarter?
Well, not a lot went on. There were 7 points on the board for the Trojans. Looks like the Trojans just really came out and started that drive off pretty well and finished it strong. Just a lot of continued highlights by the man Justice Hilliard, but his other friends and teammates made some big plays too. I think the running back for number 2, maybe that's David Dick, had a couple big plays, big interception late in the quarter. What would you say was the thing that stuck out to you the most about the third quarter, Cole?
Well, what stuck out to me was it was basically all Hillsboro in the third quarter. Hillsboro came out, scored a touchdown. Sterling tried to answer back, threw an interception, and Hillsboro looks to put the game away officially in the fourth quarter. So we have Hilliard back with trips to the right and one to the left and a running back. Hilliard will take it himself on a blast play. Brandon Frederick meets him right in the hole. Hilliard will trudge forward for a gain of 1, but that's it.
Need 3 yards on the play, second down 7.
There were chants earlier from the Hillsboro student section that I believe that their team would win, or they believe that their team would win. So it's good to see the enthusiasm for the Hillsboro students early in the season.
Hilliard in the full house pistol formation with the receiver to the left. He'll take the snap. He'll give it to Jacob Honshu. He'll be able to get to the 49-yard line and pick up the first down. Cody's out. Salazar cleans up.
Oh, this is not good. It looks like Jordan Profit has come up limping. I don't want to speculate too much. Did you see anything on that, Scott, on Jordan Profit as he came up limping a little bit?
I didn't really see anything on if he got hit or anything. I think he may have just gone down wrong on his knee. Maybe just landed straight on his knee with all of his weight. That's probably why he came up limping.
Profit's still in the game at one of the inside linebackers. Hilliard will line up in the full house pistol formation with the receiver to either side of him. Hilliard will give it up the middle. That's Tyson Reimer. He'll gain about 7. And the hope of the Sterling Black Bears interior defense seems to be fading with still over 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter.
Second down 4.
Also, you have senior starting linebacker Henry Weiner on the sideline. Not to mention your outside linebacker in the 3-4 or defensive end in the 5-2. Shane Winters hasn't played the entire second half. The full house pistol remains with a receiver on either side of Hilliard. Hilliard receives the snap, gives the ball, actually he keeps it himself, takes it to the right, gives a little juke move. It's wrapped up by Colin Anderson. Colin's had quite a few tackles tonight, Will.
He has been there a lot for the Bears. Like we've talked about so much throughout the broadcast, the senior leadership of the Bears is definitely a high point tonight. is their senior leaders have been on some of their biggest plays throughout the night.
And it seems to be that, for whatever reason, Hillsboro is targeting Anderson, who is playing a safety position now, for as far as passing goes. Maybe they just want to, maybe they're not necessarily targeting him, they're just targeting the safety position, as they haven't really completed many outside passes. More of their completions have been to the slot receivers. Staying with the full house pistol, Hilliard will take the snap. He'll give it to Jacob Hoshnu, and he'll take it to about the 20, gain of 15 yards. Cody Salazar gets up a little slow. Looks like he's all right after Salazar made the tackle. Hillsboro's got a nice little drive going here, just running the ball here. Ball on the 22-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Trojans. We have a freshman in the game at outside linebacker. Eli Miller comes in on the right side, as Hilliard will keep it himself, and Colin Anderson breaks down to make the tackle, and he misses. Hilliard breaks another tackle and will scamper into the end zone for another Hillsboro touchdown. So that will bring your score to Hillsboro 41, Sterling 14. Well, it's nice to see that the Hillsboro coach isn't running up the score by passing, but there's not much the Black Bears can do to stop the run game. It'll be interesting to see what kind of kickoff we get here from the Trojans.
It sure will. I personally, Cole, would expect a simple, just down the middle kick. Obviously, the lead is pretty large at the moment, so yeah, we'll see if Jorgensen can continue to go 4 for 4 or 5 for 5, whatever he is, on these PATs.
The point after is blocked. Scott, who blocked that point after there?
From what I saw, I think it looked like Jordan Profit actually came across the line and blocked it.
Jordan Profit, the 6'6", 220 senior, has a wingspan of about 7 feet, so you take the 6 foot 6 inches tall and then add another, 3.5 feet to that. That gives you about 11 feet of 10 to 11 feet of coverage there, so it doesn't take a whole lot for him to block a kick if he can get through.
It actually looks like down here on the sidelines, Hillsboro is bringing in their second string kicker to kick the ball off.
Okay, so there's going to be a second team kicker in now.
It also seems to look like a little younger group out there for Hillsboro, or at least for at some positions. A little bit on this kickoff, I'm already not recognizing some of the players, but we'll see what the strategy is by Coach Sire for Hillsboro.
Well, this game has gotten out of hand a little bit for the Black Bears. It's nice to see that they were able to score on 2 possessions and convert a 2-point conversion. Unfortunately, they were unable to convert a 4th down conversion in the second half, which put an end to their dreams of winning this football game.
Well, you still got a lot of time left, but so a lot of things could happen. You could see a lot of improvement next week as we host Smoky Valley. That should be a good one. At halftime tonight, Smoky Valley was down 21-7 over Heston.
Jordan Profit catches the kickoff. He'll take it about 3 yards to the 35-yard line. Very high kick by the second string kicker for Hillsboro. Lardon and Hoisington are tied at 8 in league play. Lardon, Hoisington 2. That's going into overtime now. So Lardon and Hoisington, 2 new additions to the Central Kansas League,
are going to overtime.
Lardon and Hoisington are past rivals. They came from the same league into the Central Kansas League, so very familiar foes there. Kyler Comley in the pistol set with Anderson wide right, and it looks like maybe Kenan Comley or Cody Salazar wide left. I think it's Salazar. Comley will throw to Kenan Comley. That ends up incomplete. The pass looked like it was a little behind him.
Couldn't quite get the connection they had earlier in the game on that nice deep pass Comley threw earlier. We don't have Comley's totals tonight, but how do you think overall he has looked tonight, Cole, passing the ball?
Well, if you looked at pass percentage, you probably would cringe, honestly. But he has had a few good plays. He's done what the Black Bears wanted him to do. And in terms of game management, Hillsboro has just dominated this game. So Comley back to pass now, scrambles a little bit, tries to get out of the pocket, and he will be tackled at about the line of scrimmage. Never good to see your quarterback get hit, especially when it's a throw-type quarterback. But he had the ability to get out of the pocket and get back to the line of scrimmage. Officials timeout here.
Number 80, Colin Anderson checks back into the game for the Black Bears.
Black Bears still on a huddle on offense.
Cole, if you had to pick a Black Bear MVP thus far of the night, who would you say at the moment?
I would say, well, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. There's been the load has been spread around for the Black Bears, I would say, on the running game. Kyler Comley throws the ball, intended for Colin Anderson. Pass falls incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down and about 9.
It looked like Kenan Comley might have been open on the other side, the left side, which Comley did not look to immediately. Looked like he had a few yards on his defender. So I look for Comley again, the receiver Comley, to be maybe targeted on this potential 4th down and 9.
Same pistol set, Blake Richter to the right, Kenan Comley to the left. Kyler Comley will receive the snap, drops back to pass, he'll throw it over the middle. Intended for either Jordan Prophet or Joel White. Looks like a little bit of confusion, but nobody really went for the ball. Sailed between the two slant routes, and that will be a turnover on downs for the Black Bears.
And I think what you expect to see now is Hillsboro should probably be bringing in a lot of their second-string players to give them a little bit of playing time. We'll just see what they do down here.
It's always good for the second team to have almost a full quarter of varsity time. Maybe get a couple stickers on the helmet, Will.
Yes, that is very good early on in the high school of the career to just play under those Friday night lights. It may be the time that you would not expect.
Still looks like Hilliard back in the full house pistol set. Jordan Prophet comes in and lays a pretty good hit on the group tackle. That'll go for about a gain of 3 yards, according to the down and distance marker.
You know, the quarterback that's most obvious that we haven't compared Hilliard to tonight is, even though he's not a southpaw, I think a little Michael Vick comparison, but just the way he scampers around and can make plays when they're not there. When plays break down, I see a little Michael Vick in Hilliard.
Justice Hilliard is a very versatile high school quarterback. He is back in the pistol full house formation with a receiver to either side. He gets the snap, he'll hand it to the running back, but he decides to keep it after seeing the running back's hole close quickly. And he'll pick up about 8 yards there.
Right on cue. Hilliard is right there, just as I was saying a little earlier.
And it looked like he was going to give the ball to the running back, but it looked like Brandon Frederick came and met him right in the hole, so Hilliard yanked the ball away and took it out to the outside on the right side.
Clock stopped. Nope, clock is going on. We've got 7 minutes and 10 seconds and going down every second now left in this fourth quarter play tonight.
Justice Hilliard in a spread formation with a receiver and slot to either side of him. He's got a running back to the side of him in the backfield. Hilliard will keep the ball. Missed tackle. Colin Anderson eventually will initially stop him. and then a pack of Jordan Prophet, and Joel White will clean up the run. That's a gain of about 3.5.
Do you expect him to punch it into the end zone one more time, Cole, or do you expect the Black Bears to be resurgent and prideful and not allow the Trojans to score one last time?
Well, honestly, Will, I don't see the Black Bears stopping the Justice Hilliard-powered offense with 6 minutes left to go. We've got a 2nd and 7 here, and it seems like Hillsboro is just doing as they wish here with the Black Bear defense. Black Bear offenses look pretty good. The Black Bear defenses look good at times, but penalties have been the story in this one for the defense, Will.
They certainly have.
Justice Hilliard in the full house pistol once again. He'll take the snap. He'll give it off. Up the middle. That's Reiner.
Good gain by number 7, Reiner, Hillsboro. Cole, do you think it's funny how Hilliard is listed as a running back on this roster? Do you think that's a mistake by the coaches, or what do you think that is?
Well, Hillsboro has 2 quarterbacks listed on the roster, but elected to use their 5'9" senior as their starting quarterback. This is more of a run-oriented offense, and you'll see that a lot of times in high schools.
I think they might as well have put Hilliard down as athlete instead of quarterback or running back.
Hilliard now under center will sneak the ball, and he will be met in the middle by Colin Anderson. Colin Anderson playing a strong safety position. He is accounted for, I would say he's probably a defensive MVP, even though he was targeted a couple times on a touchdown. But as far as percentage of tackles go, I'm sure he's made more tackles than anybody else on the team. So that's pretty good senior leadership there. Especially
for Anderson, who didn't have a ton of varsity experience last year, getting a lot more this year, especially on offense. And he's showing why he played some defense last year. Is he's played well, like you said, and he's had some pretty good moments tonight.
Hilliard out of the pistol full house with the receiver to the left. He'll give it off to his up back, and he will be down at the 2-yard line. That's Jacob Hanshu. And again with Anderson, as well as he's played, it's kind of worrisome when you have a strong safety making most of your tackles. That means that your interior defense is collapsing, and all of the backs are getting past your defense to the safety position.
That is a little worrisome. That's definitely something that unit could work on going into next week's game against Smoky Valley. But I don't think the coaches are worried. I think they'll go back, dissect this film pretty well, and see what they messed up on, and get back to work on Monday.
2nd and 2, second goal rather. Looks like they're going to scamper in for a touchdown. And that's going to be Dustin Plenert. So Hillsboro sharing the wealth a little bit. That'll bring your score to 47-14. Trying to make it 48-14 will be Jorgensen.
You'd have to think that Hilliard is definitely a strong all-league candidate. Probably first team, would you say, Cole?
Well, if you would base it on this game, I would say so.
Obviously, we haven't seen any of the other league teams play yet in person this year, but I think Hilliard should definitely start off his, obviously not a Heisman campaign, but his campaign to be all-league, possibly all-state, in this showcase game for him, really, today.
We've got an encroachment penalty on the extra point attempt. And the ball hadn't been snapped, so that usually means that the Black Bears just lined up with their head a little over the ball, and the referees blew the play dead.
Jorgensen missed his last PAT, so we'll see if he can rebound and get this one.
The Black Bears get through, almost block it. A very short kick is good nonetheless from Jorgensen, which brings your score to 48-14.
Did he miss it? They announced it 47.
They announced 47-14. He must have missed it.
Scott.
Must have been, yeah, Scott.
Did he miss that?
Like number 28 on the PAT actually missed it. As you can see, the holder couldn't get quite a firm grip on the ball and started falling backwards, and it just looked like it was a shade to the right.
So missing the PAT wide right keeps the score at 47-14. Be nice to see the Bears with a little over 3 minutes left try to put down a scoring drive with a few second teamers here.
Yeah, it was nice to see Eli Miller out there, the freshman number 44, getting some experience the last couple series. He was close to tackling Hilliard, as many Black Bear defenders have been, but it was really good to see him out there. It looks like maybe Derek Boken, number 62, is also in there, and some other young players.
Yeah, the kick return team is riddled with second teamers here on the front and second lines. The returners remain the same with Kenan Comley and Blaine Shea on the 25-yard line now. The ball is kicked over to Kenan Comley. He'll meet the wall, trying to run to the left. Kenan Comley will make it to about the 33-yard line.
That was a pretty decent return on Comley's part. He followed the big blocking team and got a decent yardage gain on that play. Kickoff play.
Okay, Scott, what are some sights and sounds down there?
Well, the main sound that we have down here is just a lot of excitement from the Hillsboro sideline and from the Hillsboro fans, as you can see from the score of 47-14. It's just kind of been the story of the game, is just turnovers and penalties at the wrong time.
Comley makes a deep throw over to Kenan Comley. Pass is incomplete, but it looks like there's a couple flags that come in. Kenan Comley was heavily covered on the play, double covered actually. I'd expect this to be a defensive pass interference. Colin Anderson comes out of the game. Looks like that's what it's going to be as the Hillsboro Trojans group moves back.
Pass interference. Defense. 15-yard results in the first down.
Scott, who are you talking to down there? Is that Hillsboro's AD or something, or who is that?
I just think it's probably just a school representative of some sort.
Got Kyler Comley taking the snap, drops back to pass. He throws a little dump to Blaine Shea. A similar screen we have. Blaine Shea runs for about a gain of 15 yards to the 39-yard line. So the Black Bears with two pretty substantial plays here, looking a little better than they have in their past couple of drives. Sterling making it into enemy territory for the second time in the half. First time ended up in a failed fourth down conversion. Fourth and very short. Kenan Comley wide right. And maybe Colin Anderson wide left. Give the ball to Joel White. Joel White has a pretty big hole there. Gets a block from Kenan Comley. The ball comes out and it's recovered by Hillsboro. And that is Hilliard, and he looks like he's going to take it back all the way. Being chased down by Edward Weiner. He's not going to catch him. Hilliard takes the fumble recovery all the way back, drops the ball, and takes a few collective breaths after running 70 yards for a fumble recovery.
You know, that's a really unfortunate play because Joel White looked like that was one of his best runs of the night. It just looked like he was kind of gang tackled by a couple of Hillsboro defenders there. And, of course, the great athlete Justice Hilliard was there, right there, expected where he was supposed to be and took it to the house.
Again, Joel White looked like he had a really big hole, and he hit the hole really hard, and it just seemed to be maybe a little bit of a strip there, and that's how it ended up. Jorgensen will try the PAT. This one's good.
Gives Hillsboro a 40-point lead now late in the game.
54-14. It's been all Hillsboro in the second half, as it looked manageable in the first half for the Black Bears.
They've now outscored Sterling on this half 19-0.
I think it's a 26-0, Will.
That would be right. They scored 35 so early ago. It's just so many touchdowns.
You know.
Yep.
Sterling has made the playoffs for 8 years in a row now. If they do so this year, it will be the 9th year in a row Sterling has made the playoffs. And it seems like each year, with the exception of maybe 1 year in those 8 years, has started with a few league losses, and then by the time they lose to some league teams, they collect what they're doing, cut their losses, and they're pretty good in their district, usually finishing second in district.
Let's talk a little bit about their district, as you mentioned there, Cole. You got Lyons, you got Ellsworth, and you got Hoisington.
Hoisington in a battle right now in overtime with Larned.
That seems to be a pretty favorable and manageable district for Sterling. What would you say, Cole?
I'd say it is very manageable for the Black Bears. Blaine Shea looks like he's going to take the kickoff return straight up the middle. He might have a chance here. Blaine Shea's going to take it, it looks like. He gets to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and very close. Touchdown, they're going to say. So a kickoff return by Blaine Shea gets taken straight up the middle. He follows the wall for a touchdown. That'll make the score 54-20 for the Bears. No hope of coming back in this one, but that gives you a little bit of a morale boost there, Will.
That really does. That was a great play by Blaine Shea, definitely showing that 4.86 speed on the kickoff return, and it's nice to see a big play for the Bears, as they have lacked that in the second half tonight.
So after it was on about an 80-yard kickoff return, as Jorgensen was back to do the kicking duties, we will have the 2-point conversion attempt. Anderson wide to the right, Kenan Comley wide to the left. Kyler Comley gets the ball, he throws it, the pass is batted at the line of scrimmage, and that will be incomplete, so the score remains 54-20 with 2:04 left to go in the game.
That is a morale boost in terms of, it was a 40-point game a second ago. It's now 34, a little bit more respectable. They can go home knowing that, especially Blaine Shea himself, knowing that he gave his all and that his talents were showcased at the end of this game. And it also gave our cheerleaders something to cheer about, something that they hadn't been able to do for quite a long time.
If nothing else, Sterling now has the accolade of scoring a special teams touchdown.
Did we have a special teams touchdown last year, if you could remember, Cole?
I think last year in the first game, actually, Tommy Shea ran back, who's Blaine Shea's brother. Tommy Shea ran back a kickoff. We had a few kickoff returns. Trey Bagby took the opening kickoff of the Stanton County game back to the house. So we had a few last year. It's good to open up this year with one. It's always good to know that Sterling doesn't have to score on offense.
My simple slogan on the kickoff returns is, when there's a Shea, there's a way.
I just got word down here that after the game, Justice Hillier would be glad to say a couple.
Okay, that'd be great. Thanks, Scott. Logan Gillespie kicks off.
Did you ask him, Scott? Or
he's wrapped up by Ethan Prophet there.
You what?
I went up and just asked if he'd give a few words about tonight's game.
That was Jacob Hanshoe on the return.
Is Hilliard out of there?
Hilliard's on the sideline right now.
That's glad.
Okay,
That's
so
good.
Larned 21, Hoisington 20 in double overtime. Is that the final? Okay, so that's the final. That's a very competitive league game there. That's Reimer up the middle for Hillsboro. Gain of about 2, maybe 3. Tackle made by Ethan Prophet.
Some other scores around the league, at least at halftime, were Heston was ahead of Smoky Valley 21-7. Halstead was winning a game at Haven, I believe, 14-7. Kingman was ahead of a young Nickerson team 7-0. And way out west, Holcomb was leading.
Silver Lake was leading Holcomb.
Silver Lake
6-0.
was leaving Holcomb.
Holton.
6-0. Got some state powers out there.
So we have a registered quarterback in now for Hillsboro. That would be Jacob Hanshoe. He's going to keep it and get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Now, when someone like Jacob Hanshoe, who's made so many big plays tonight, is your backup quarterback, I'd say your team is in pretty good hands. Would you say the same there, Cole?
I'd say you can't complain about that. Another good thing I would say about Sterling is you have a sophomore quarterback. And that means that you have a lot of room to develop here. So if Kyler Conley continues to be really good this season, he's only a sophomore, so you got him for 2 more years to come.
That's a good way, good mindset, and a good perspective on the growth of Kyler Conley's development as a starting quarterback for your Black Bears.
We've got a false start here on the offense. 3rd down, it's going to move him back 5 yards. It's going to be about 3rd and 9 now.
People are now leaving the stadium as this game's been...
Only 12 seconds left to go in the game.
I'd say with that long run by Blaine Shea, he personally would have to be my MVP of the game. He's obviously been in on a lot of plays with his speed.
There's going to be 23 seconds on the game clock.
He's been in a lot of plays with his speed, and he is a junior, like we mentioned earlier, so he's still got another year. I asked you earlier, Cole, have you thought about it a little bit and thought of a potential MVP candidate for tonight for the Black Bears?
Well, after that kickoff return, I'm going to give the offensive MVP to the combined running efforts of Shane Winters and Blaine Shea. They've done a great job tonight running for the Bears. Even though they weren't the ones that scored, they did all the dirty work for the Bears offense. So that's my decision. Hillsboro's just going to run out the clock here. That's the final bell. Your final score is Hillsboro 54, Sterling 20. A very tough loss for Sterling, but you know, the year usually starts out this way for the Bears, and I'm sure they'll find a way to recover. What do you think, Will?
I do think that they will find a way to recover. They've got a lot of room to grow, obviously, and a young, inexperienced Smoky Valley team, I believe, inexperienced in terms of varsity experience, good athletes, comes into Sterling next week at Smizer Stadium. I think it should be quite the game next week.
And I have received word that we're going to be able to hear from Justice Hilliard as soon as the teams get done shaking hands here, and maybe after they go into their meetings. Scott, what do you think about this game?
I'd say overall disappointing, but the Black Bears did show some strokes of brilliance with throwing the ball and Blaine Shea with the run back. There's definitely a lot of room for improvement. We just need to and not commit any penalties when they matter the most.
Okay, Scott, we're going to wrap up this presentation.
All right.
From Hillsboro, Kansas, I'm Cole Slepsky.
I'm Will Dutton.
And thank you for coming to the stream tonight.